I want to get a read on this and what it does mean when you have a counsel getting involved in this versus just a prosecutor per se. Maybe it's just semantics. To New York Assistant Director, former Director Bill Gavin of the FBI. Bill, what does this mean? What power does he have? He has wide discretion to get what he wants from whom he wants, even if it's all the way up to the president, right?
Yes, he certainly does, Neil. You know, the political momentum to appoint Bob Mueller overtook normal facts and conclusions that you should reach with the normal investigation by the professional people in the FBI. Bob is the exact candidate for this job. He's independent. He's the longest-ranking FBI director, other than J. Edgar Hoover. He did 12 years. They had to go to Congress to get him authorized to do beyond his 10-year term. So he has a whole bunch of experience in doing this kind of work in terms of credibility. Maybe, just maybe, it will take some of the political hysteria out of the, stab that balloon and return Washington to what Washington should be about. But Bob's an outstanding candidate. I think the basic part and the good part about this, Neil, is the fact that you're not going to hear what he's doing, when he's doing it, or how he's doing it. That's been the problem in the past. Little tiny leaks about what has gone on and what hasn't gone on has been a problem. Now it won't be a problem with Bob Mueller. It just won't get out. It'll only get out through people above him. It won't get out through him or the staff that he has to work with.
Would that include then, Bill, investigating this charge that Comey had in a memo that the president was trying to get him to back off of Flynn?
I don't know, Neil, if that's going to fit into this equation. I'm sure that it will come up, but there are other entities trying to get a hold of that memo right now, and we'll have to see how that plays out. But it won't. If Bob gets a hold of this memo, it's not going to come out through Bob Mueller. That just won't happen.
How long do you think this whole thing takes?
That's a real head scratcher, yeah. Neil. I just don't know. You know, it'll take as long as it has to take for Bob to be convinced that he has arrived at the right conclusion, and hopefully, just hopefully, both sides of the aisle will agree with whatever conclusion comes out of this, and there won't be name calling. And
but I think there will, Bill. You know, and
yeah,
I mean, you're indulging my petulant questions here. That's why I was asking how long it would take. But I know how it went, certainly with Comey. I mean, when it's information that's harmful to Hillary Clinton, Republicans love you, and then when it reverses that, they hate you, and the Democrats start, liking it. So someone's going to be ticked off here. So he's going to need, irrefutable documentation, right? But then he's got to reveal that documentation, or does he?
That's absolutely true. Somewhere along the line, Neil, when this is totally done, there'll be a revelation, maybe not in all the detail that he found, but enough to convince the public. But going back to, somebody's going to get their feelings hurt and will take a different point of view.
Yeah.
But when you've had the number of people, particularly the minority leader in the Senate, saying this is the right guy, it's real hard to turn your back if he comes out with another decision other than going to please Chuck Schumer.
Yeah, because we do have this thing called tape. You're right about that. You know, Bill, finally, the fact that the Deputy Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein, didn't give the administration a heads up. I could see Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, has supposedly recused himself from all of this, but the President or anyone else at the White House. Do you read anything into that?
No, I think that the president is the kind of the object of the inquiry to begin with, and so it's no reason to go to them. And then, of course, as you say, the Attorney General has recused himself. Rob Rosen's in a tough position, but he's a tough guy that can handle this. I think he's done the right thing, even though it goes against what has been done in the past in a situation like this. But as I said, political events have overtaken common sense and what we actually know.
You're right about that. Bill Gavin, thank you. Former FBI New York Assistant Director. Good seeing you, Bill.
Thanks, Neil. My pleasure.